Hi everyone. I wanted to cover something because we talked in the classroom about my IT lab, and I wanted to cover something right quick. You'll notice I kind of revamped my IT lab. I finally had my meeting with Pearson and got everything straightened out. This is going to be our class code, Lineros 41804. If you have registered or connected to an account other than Lineros 41804, it's important you pay attention because you'll have to reconnect to my IT lab. If you haven't, then this is all fresh and it's no big deal. What I put here is how to access, and I put here under my IT lab registration the instructions on how you go out there. Now that I've connected the course to my IT lab, the only way I want you to go out to the course is through the link in Blackboard. So, I mean, right off the bat, whether you're going into my IT lab or registering, you do the same thing. You go through Blackboard through the link. Let me show you what the link looks like. You will come over here, and the link is right here. Only use this link to enter my IT lab. And like the previous video said, you click here on my IT lab, and it immediately throws you into the course if you've registered. If you have not registered, then when you go in here, it won't automatically put you in the course like this, summer 2016, but it'll force you to create an account. Remember, my IT lab is, they charge you for it. I mean, it's just a connection. It's an additional charge. If you bought the bundle, some students buy the bundle, which is the book and the access code, then, you know, it's different. But if you haven't bought the bundle, you have to buy the access code separate. So let's go back here. So you come through here. I explained in the earlier video what these are about. So this is the link. Whether you are setting up an account for the very first time, connected to Lineros 41804, you will not be allowed to use this code except through Blackboard. Okay, so if you're getting trouble setting up an account because you're going out to Pearson.com, whatever, it's failing because you need to come through Blackboard. So I wanted to stress that. Let's see. So we covered this. Be sure you watch this video because it gives you some tips about moving around, like I said in the previous video. The other thing I wanted to mention is Gmetrics. Gmetrics is the simulator, kind of the Excel, Microsoft simulator. I put some notes out here. One of the first things I want to mention, of course, is that it's free. Gmetrics doesn't cost you anything. It's just a simulator, so when you take the test, you will notice that it has projects, 3 projects and 3 tests. When you go in, when you watch these videos, it'll make more sense. Be sure and do the tests, because what we're giving credit for in the course is taking the tests, not doing the projects. Trust me, you don't want to do the projects. They're a lot worse than taking the tests, I think. But yeah, Gmetrics here. This shows you how to get to Gmetrics through VMware. This gives you an idea of what Gmetrics will look like if you're in the lab, whether they're in person or through virtualization, using, I think they call it, now the current name is Horizon Client VMware. Be sure you watch all these videos. Gmetrics, you have a choice. You can either load it on your machine, you can have a private copy sitting on your machine that's fused. I think after a year it dies, which I don't recommend, because then you're going to get into all sorts of compatibility issues of, does my machine. Another thing is you have to have 2013. If you don't have 2013 Excel running, Gmetrics will not work. Gmetrics does not come with Excel loaded into it. What it does, it uses the Excel that you have in your laptop. That's one of the reasons it requires 2013, because that's what's currently being tested by Microsoft. Okay, that's everything. I just wanted to mention, again, Gmetrics is free, so please don't go out and buy Gmetrics. We have a license here on campus. My IT lab is not free, but the way you set up, the way you go into it is go through this link. Once again, to simplify things and to prevent people being off the reservation or anything like that, basically the only way to get access to it now or to register an account is to go through Blackboard. That's the bad news. The good news is it's really easy, because once you authenticate to Blackboard and you click on My IT Lab Course Home, once you have an account and you've connected it and successfully connected it to 41804, you'll never have to authenticate to Pearson again. You'll go out to My IT Lab through Blackboard without the hassle of having to remember your password for Pearson. That's all I want to say at this time. At some point here, as we get deeper into the semester, we're going to need to handle another issue. The other thing I wanted to cover is you got three things at work here. You've got setting up My IT Lab so that you can do your homework and get credit for it on the different chapters. That's thing one of three. Thing two of three is here, which is geometrics, which geometrics is on the syllabus and is required because it's a simulator that will help you greatly when you sit for the test over at Sage. The third thing is that, and this is, again, in the future, before you can sit for a Microsoft exam, Microsoft has to know who you are. You have to have an account with them. The party that does the registration and basically the administration of the exam is Certiport. So you have to have a Certiport account. I'm making the assumption none of you have ever sat for a Microsoft exam, so you should not have a Certiport account. You have to set one, so no big deal. Just navigate out to here. There's no cost for this. I'm saying here that certifying exams cost $100 if you show up at a Prometric Center. So set up your account, and then when you sit for your certifying exam over at Sage Hall, it'll be no cost to you. But you do have to set up an account. So three things: My IT Lab has to be set up, Geometrics has to be set up, and the Certiport account. Please don't put off doing the Certiport account setup. I have students every semester that they just forget, and then on test day, when you already have a little bit of anxiety about passing the exam, it's quite the shock when you realize that you don't have a Certiport account, and then it takes about 15-20 minutes. So when everybody else is sitting, you're on a machine somewhere else trying to get your Certiport account set up. It's not worth the hassle. Just get it set up now, and it's good for the rest of the semester. Just be sure you have your credentials so you can remember it on test day. Those are the three things I wanted to cover, and this is all that'll be assigned for Thursday. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you next Monday. Oh, another thing, I have, as a courtesy to those who could not be in the classroom, I taped, audio recorded the lectures for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. However, that is the last recording. So, if you have other classes that you miss, you need to get notes from someone, because it's a lot of burden to record it and upload it and all that stuff. So just plan accordingly that this week is the once I upload this third one for Wednesday, that's it for the course. Have a great weekend.